Yeah, buddy. There it is. You didn't think you'd like to hear the sound of that bell, did you?
It's the return of the bell.
It's back. The NIT is within reach. It's within reach. It worked. I can't believe that it worked. I jokingly stated on yesterday's show at the end that, I was going to try to put the reverse jinx on myself and do all of that in order to sacrifice for the team. And I went ahead and placed a wager that Notre Dame would come in and cover the 2 against Florida State in the hopes that I would lose that wager. And damn it, man, I sure did. Good on you, boys. All right. I don't know what in the world to think about this basketball team. I just don't. I know kind of off and on all year long, we got excited about John Butler, the potential for John Butler to be a really good player because of that shot, that silky smooth shot. Then he kind of just went away for a while, and you're like, he was hurt for a little while. Then he didn't play well. Then he looked lost, and you're like, I don't know. He's like everybody else this year, just kind of here 1 minute, gone the next. But 4 or 5 from beyond the arc will work. Silky smooth shooter, man. Fun to watch. I love his game. 16 points for him last night. 8 boards. I think he had he had 3 blocks, 4 blocks, something like that. He was good. What a player last night. Anthony Polite returned. That helped. Played well. I didn't expect that. If you're Coach Bray, you're about tired of Florida State. I mean, there's no excuse to come in here and lose to this team, and yet they did. And, that first half looked like a setup for Notre Dame to go on and win this game rather handily because they were really good in most every area. You look at a glimpse at the stats from the first half last night, 19 of 38, 5 of 9 from beyond the arc. I was worried about that. We talked about that.
They finished strong, too. There was a flurry in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah. 26-16. They had the lead in points in the paint, 15-9 on second chance points. So you just thought, well, this is a problem. This is, they're going to go, if this continues into the second half, we can't win because you're losing all these important categories. Now, I will say we were shooting the lights out, and that kept us around. We shot nearly 50% in the first half. We were 6 of 13 from beyond the arc, and that'll keep you around when you're not winning in the other aspects of the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the 10-minute mark, you're on a 100-point pace for both teams.
Yeah.
It's breakneck stuff. It's old school 1980s basketball pace to it in terms of the efficiency and the scoring. And you figure if anybody's going to wane, it would be us. But then, you respond, you start in the second half, and then Notre Dame looks to be gripping the basketball a little bit tighter on their shots.
0 for 10 from beyond the arc in the second half. That's a running kick to the cojones, right?
Not shooting well from the free throw line.
No.
Nothing was coming easy except around the glass at times. They could get to the glass and score quickly if they wanted to, but they kept on hoisting those threes because that's what they do. That's what they're used to doing, and it did not happen for them on that end of the court.
That's when you need a coach to call a timeout and say, guys, we're kicking their ass in the paint. Stop hoisting threes. Tonight, none of you appear to be dead-eyed Dick, and we're going to lose this game if you keep doing that. So I love it when coaches who are often fawned over and lauded throughout the ACC, and oftentimes at the expense of our own Leonard Hamilton, like to say what they say and describe these guys, and then they come in and they do the things that we've seen pretty consistently over the last 5 years, and you're like, maybe he got out-coached. Imagine that. Happened again.
That can't happen. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We're not allowed to out-coach anybody.
Well, it happens a lot, Tom, and 22-10, FSU was being outscored in the second half in points in the paint. For the game, 48-26 points in the paint, and yet they're out there shooting threes. What are you doing? What are you doing?
And he called a timeout a couple of times in the second half just to settle down because he was tired of the up and down action and what was going on.
Playing to our athleticism.
Right. Well, it reminded me of, like you're talking about, a few years ago when it was everybody's game plan, whether it was anybody from like Jim Larinaga up to, of course, that's what Tony Bennett does. But even the more athletic teams in the league, you'd see them run down the shot clock because they're saying, no way we're getting
not getting into a track meet with
we're
these
not
guys.
Doing this.
No, we don't have the requisite depth or athleticism to do it.
And so even though this isn't that team, when I saw those timeouts, I thought, to your point, that maybe there'd be more feeding of the ball inside.
Yeah, you think?
And it never really materialized. Just such a damn shame. It's unfortunate for them. Now they got to sweat out a game over with Pitt to close out their slate. Notre Dame was saying, oh, now don't blow this.
Yeah, Notre Dame averages over 9 threes, made threes a game. They love to do it. They don't turn the ball over all that much. Coming into the game, they shot free throws well. In close games, Tom, this year, I looked this up yesterday when I was going to make the wager and I was having fun with it. In close games, they're 7-2 in games decided by 3 baskets or less. So they've won all the close games because they make free throws and they make a lot of threes. Well, they didn't make free throws and they didn't make a lot of threes, and they refused to take advantage of what they had.
Well, I thought the broadcast said it right, though. Down the stretch, we did give them every opportunity in the final 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to come back, win the ball game. But the 2 key moments to me were the polite 3 off of a broken play. That just looked like a ridiculous set. And the next thing you know, he released that in 1/10 of a second, too, from the elbow. And then also, once you get the offensive rebound in the next situation where it's a 2-point game, they're going to let it run down, no shot clock left, around 10 seconds, and it becomes a team rebound for us out of bounds. To draw up a play. This counts as drawing up a play, everybody. For Raekwon Evans to be wide open near the bench, screen actions, whatever they did from away from the ball, to get 0 in a place where he is wide open to accept the inbounds pass and get hacked. That dude is a free throw machine, and he is a machine inside of a minute to go as well in regulation. So to draw up that play in that moment to help ice the game was the thing for me. So those 2 moments down the stretch, that helps you close it. That gets you the confidence you need if whatever virus is ailing Matthew Cleveland subsides by the time we get on a plane to Brooklyn next week.
Oh, what magical week, buddy.
Hey.
I love it.
750 to 1 odds don't look crazy now, do they?
They do look crazy.
Still?
Yeah, no, we're not going to win the ACC.
This could be the second place team in the league. It's going to be, at least a share of it.
Yeah, they're going to be in second. They're going to finish up in second. Yeah, I still would be surprised. I would still be very surprised if we won the ACC tournament. Yeah, I'd find that pretty shocking.
This would be the year. Hey, Georgia Tech took it from us last year. Who the hell were they?
Sons of bitches. We collapsed at the end of the year. That was frustrating. John Butler, as I mentioned, 16 points on 6 of 11 shooting, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc, but he added 8 boards and a steal and 4 block shots, was really good. Raekwon Evans, 12 points, didn't shoot it all that well, did make 2 trays though, hit big free throws again. That's been the story of his season. He's had these highlight moments, and you know what? Good for you, young man. Take that with you. You'll remember it forever. Perhaps if you're playing basketball overseas, you reflect back on your time here, and that's not a veiled shot at all. I mean, obviously he's not an NBA player, but that kid has had some great moments this year, and I'm happy for him. Just been a tough year. Anthony Polite returning helped immensely against Notre Dame's 4 guards, so that's helpful. He had a good game.
He looked fresh.
Yeah, best performance we've ever seen from Tanner Ngom. It's Ira must have been beaming. Ngom had his first good game ever. 12 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 boards, an assist, a steal, block shot, 20 minutes. All right, Tanner.
You didn't see that he gave Tanner it was like a bouquet with a Bushnell in there. It's like, here you go. Here are the binoculars from me to you. You get the binoculars award.
I like it. Hey, so you know Wyatt Wilkes hit that 3 early, Tom, and I almost texted you because you'd called it just to kind of ridicule me or to have fun with me. But he finished with all of 6 points. So
it was a good start, though. Set the tone.
I guess.
Well, we hit our first 5.
Yeah.
You know?
Cameron Fletcher with 9 points, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc there, 4 of 8 from the field, 5 boards, in just 21 minutes. He always shows splashes. Really happy for another kid this year, and that is the weatherman, Harrison Prieto, who continues to play really well.
Line drive 3 in this game, too.
Yeah, he did. It was his only 3, but yeah.
I don't know. That thing got more than 6 inches above the rim from the time he let it go.
Who was that who used to do that for us that went to the league? We got drafted late.
Ryan Reed.
I couldn't believe he got drafted. I remember thinking, what in the world?
That was the corner 3 against North Carolina on Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah. It forced overtime.
Worley went scoreless. I will say this about Worley going scoreless because, he's played better late in the year. I'm glad it didn't affect his defense. He was still able to pull down 5 boards. He had 2 steals. He did block a shot. So, when your shots aren't falling, it can affect other aspects of your game, especially when you're young and immature and frustrated. It can add up. I thought he really played hard defensively, despite the fact that he couldn't buy a basket. So All right, that's good. So here it is, Florida State, and this is the news. Here's what's, I guess, worthy of what I'm about to do, because I thought it was in peril. I think we all realized it was in peril, and yet, nay, ain't gonna happen, baby. With that win last night, Florida State guaranteed an overall winning record for the 17th consecutive season in program history. Choo choo! Let that linger, baby. 17 consecutive seasons with a winning record. That's not like the be-all, end-all. But hey, man.
Hey, that dates back to my undergrad years.
It was in peril. We were in real trouble until these breakout performances out of nowhere. On the road at the JPJ against Virginia on senior night. Uppity Virginia fans fell to their knees with sadness. Heartbreak is what ensued.
So real quick, looking at the bracket for next week in Brooklyn. Here it is. Because when you're in the 8-9 game, unfortunately, if you win it, you draw the 1. So the second game in Brooklyn would be against Duke. And that would be Duke's first game.
And that's it. That's all.
If it wasn't, would you believe at that point? If they're still playing after game 2, round 2.
Duke, yeah, that'd be funny. I don't know if I'll allow myself at any point to believe that they're going to the NCAA tournament because they win the ACC tournament in one magical week in Brooklyn, Tom.
And right now, as it stands now, if it went chalk.
Get the shirt.
If it went chalk outside of our massive upset of Duke.
Yeah.
Do you know who we would face in the semifinals?
Miami.
That's right.
Man, I can't have it end like this. We cannot get to the semis. I'll see you in the semis. We cannot do that, man.
So, well, it needs to be magical. It can't be short of magical.
So by the way, you will have to grab the sound clip from the Big Lebowski, because think about him saying pendejo, where we get the opportunity to play Miami in the semis. Miami, the sound clip, buddy.
Right, but you said that with an A and not an E, and not an S. So therefore, it's not an FCC violation in Spanish.
No, it's
well
not.
done. That's next level.
You see what I did there?
Next level.
That's what I do. So you'll have to play the sound clip, and we'll bleep it. But
that's why you said pan as in bread.
Right. That's right.
And not pan as in rice.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I said it like a gringo. So
you said it intentionally wrong.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It's like saying the word frick, you know?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with frick.
Nothing.
Frick and H.
Yeah, man. So 17 consecutive seasons with a winning record. Senior day this Saturday. I think NC State's disinterested. Get ready for another win. And you know what's weird?
We'd finish 500 in the conference then for the season.
And Florida State has 10 ACC losses, which is not ideal. But we're 4-2 against the top 4 teams in the ACC.
Come on. Bring it.
That means we're going to lose to somebody who's sorry, Tom, when we get to the ACC tournament.
Well, no, that means that if we get by that 8-9 game against Syracuse, you have to believe, because there's a 2/3 chance. I'm not going to break out the Scott Steiner thing, but there's a 2/3 chance, 66.6% chance that we are going to beat the number 1 seed Duke or the number 4 seed Miami on the way to the championship game.
I see you rolled your way into the semis. In the other 3 ACC games last night, Wake Forest used a second half offensive explosion, Tom, is what you could call that.
The Roper Road.
Yeah. 101-76 in Winston-Salem to finish up their ACC schedule at 13-7. Miami took care of business and helped offset my losses, because last night, or at the end of the show yesterday, I told everybody, going to take a little Miami on the road, -4 against Boston College. They won 81-70. That's a cover. We jumped on the cover train. That helped out.
Good thing you didn't parlay them.
Needed that. No, didn't parlay them. Clemson rallied past Georgia Tech 68-65 at the Little John. And here are the ACC standings. Duke, North Carolina now in second. Old rolled out there. Roy was in attendance the other night. He was looking good. I thought the next time I saw rolled out there Roy, he would be beleaguered. But he's keeping it together.
Maybe he'll be back.
Oh, one can only dream. Notre Dame now tied with North Carolina. 2 back of Duke, Miami, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, Virginia, and Florida State. Right there, buddy. Winners of 2 straight in the ACC, and as you alluded to, 9-10 in conference with a chance to get to 500, not only securing a winning record on the season despite myriad injury. but also a 500 record within reach in the ACC with said injuries. Okay. Bravo, keeping this group together in what has been a disappointing year on a lot of levels. Some things you couldn't control at all, not your fault at all. Others, little, misstep here or there, but they have fought on. And there was a team at one point, going back to that BC game, that was straight up on quit watch. And you know how we don't like to throw that around, baby.
I saw some prognostication last night. Said, even in the broadcast, alluding to, these guys never gave up. Like,
it was a moment or two.
They haven't.
They have not. But there have been in-game moments where like, I'm detecting a problem. Yeah. So, hey, bravo, boys. You got the choo-choo today. I rang the hell out of that bell. I'm never going to be so happy to go to the damn NIT. Well, maybe not. Maybe the magical run in Brooklyn happens. And, buddy, you're going to get rich. If it happens, hurry up and get the shirts made, and let's go.
Well, the problem is,
now, mind you, that
once
the JCS
it happens,
logo will be on the back of the shirt. So, I mean, I'm entitled to some profits from whatever it is we sell.
Well, that's fine. I mean, some.
Yeah. It'll be fun. What were you going to say?
I forget. It was immaterial.
Yeah, okay. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Hi, Taco.
Hey, Jeff. How you doing? Pull up a pillow. Haven't seen you in a couple of days. Hey, something's different about you.
That's right. My people took me to Tally Spay, the affordable spay and neuter clinic on West Tennessee.
Tally Spay? Isn't that the place where they...
Yeah, they're a low-cost, high-volume spay-neuter clinic.
So you're saying you've had some work done?
I did. You'd think I'd be depressed, but truth is, I don't even miss them. If anything, I feel more calm. I don't feel like I have to run around looking for company, and my people can leave me alone with the couch cushions.
Hey, I can stop anytime I want.
Tally Spay, a low-cost, high-volume spay-neuter clinic open to the public, serving Tallahassee and the surrounding areas. Tally Spay. For more information and to schedule a same-day surgery and pickup, go to tallyspay.com. That's tallyspay.com.
He's keeping you comfortable.
This is Kyle, Service Manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
Our friends at ISF work hard to help their clients solve the future. ISF is an integrated IT and management consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, serving clients all across the country. With the new year upon us, ISF reminds you to create a clear strategy, optimize your process, and modernize your technology to meet all your goals in 2022. For more information, visit ISF.com. That's ISF.com. ISF, solving the future.
Sellers Tile does it better for business owners, contractors, designers, and homeowners. Better design ideas, better quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring, better mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions. And Sellers makes it easier with their amazing showroom and first-class professionals. Maybe it's time to get Sellers working for you on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com for better style, quality, and design. Go with Sellers in Tallahassee. Call 656-8453.
Your body is a masterpiece designed to heal itself from within. Learn how to maximize your health by tuning in to Phenomenal Health with me, Dr. Ryan Finn. Saturdays at 2:30. Experience true health today and call Finn Chiropractic at 386-7700.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
Talented individuals that work here at Warchant.com, and lots of them, but that would have been a record for a turnaround on a position preview video.
Yeah, I mean,
given that we just did it an hour ago.
Listen, I can do it pretty quickly. Not even Aslan probably can turn it around that fast because he's the he's the wizard.
He's a wizard.
Yeah.
But it'll be up later today. We're gonna wait till tomorrow.
It might be first thing in the morning.
I think that's a little late.
Oh well, you can take it up with the managing editor.
Let's go, everybody. Let's get it up there. I mean, what are we waiting on here? People need to be able to read that preview long before things get going tomorrow. Also, that preview was for defensive backs. And one of the things that happens when you go through the ledger and you look at the names and the participants, you get excited because you say to yourself, man, they got a ton of people there. Ton of people. Doesn't mean always with the numbers that's a great thing, but in this case I do think it means they've got a lot of options, and I think it's probably the most talented and deepest segment on the field. I mean, and you would start with Jamie Robinson like we did in the video because he was really good last year. It is amazing to think how terrible they were for the first half of the season, and then how much better they were by the back end. Were they locked down? No. Were they trustworthy? Were they consistent by season's end? Pretty much. I mean, in the modern game of football, it's awfully difficult to shut people down. You see it with Alabama, you see it with Clemson and others. Just modern offenses have a distinct advantage. The rules in college give them that advantage as well. And so you're not going to get shut down the way that you used to in college football, the way that we tend to reflect in our mind about what a great defense looks like, shutouts and the like. It ain't happening in big-time college football anymore.
A spiked baseball, the next one we get at this university against a Power 5 opponent, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be platinum or golden. And
at this point, I'll take it against anybody, Tom. We lost to Jacksonville State last year.
That's true.
I'll take a spiked baseball against anybody.
Duquesne?
Okay, maybe not.
Okay.
You're right about that. But Jamie Robinson, Jarian Jones, Jarvis Brownlee, Marion Cooper, Kevin Noles, Akeem Dent. I mean, you just rattle off those names. Those are guys that you feel like, for the most part, are pretty trustworthy. They've got weaknesses in their games. Not to say they're perfect. They're not, first-round draft picks or anything like that, but they're guys that are you feel pretty good about. Marion Cooper really played well as a true freshman. Kevin Noles played really, really well and made splashes as a true freshman. So they're only going to get better. We know that. And they gained valuable experience last year. God, could you imagine if they ever got anything out of Travis Jay? I mean, as athletic as he is, I don't know that we can trust that. He doesn't make plays on the football, but man, he's big and athletic. Maybe
well,
the light bulb goes off. I don't know.
I feel like if there was a home for him at this point, and it was good to see, again, I'll reiterate that he was in a garnet jersey when we were there for tour of duty workouts, which means he's in the upper crust, the upper half of the people who are invested, because you worry. But if Kevin Noles can get flexed outside with a Marion, maybe a slot corner, because he can match up with bigger targets in the middle of the field. So he can match up with a tight end, right? You would think if he's not going to win jump balls, as he should on the outside, or he'll put himself in position but not finish. Remember McFadden had that problem for a long time?
Oh, yeah, long time.
He had the 1 year where he had a bunch of picks, then there was an issue after that.
Yeah.
But, all right, if you can't do that, then maybe you can win over the middle of the field, and that also leaves you in the box in certain situations to blitz or to be there as run support. he certainly has the body type to do all of those things.
Yeah, and you can look at guys. They got a lot of big corners. I mean, you love the length, but I'm looking at a couple of guys that I think they graduate to being a linebacker. Now, they did that with Brendan Gant, and a lot of people would say, well, he's 6'2", he's big, he was destined to do that. Well, I think they wanted him out of that defensive back room. I think they're trying to clean that room up a little bit. They've had some personality clashes. They've had some discipline issues. I'm not talking about criminal activity or anything like that. I'm just talking about guys not being buttoned up, doing what they're supposed to do on a day-to-day basis.
So I guess we didn't talk about this in the video, but the devil's advocate card to play would be, if you don't have a pass rush, are these guys actually good? Or were their deficiencies even more masked by the ability of Keir Thomas and Jermaine Johnson?
Yeah. Well, we'll find out, won't we? Because I don't think we're going to nearly have as effective a pass rush this year with the front four as we had a year ago.
And that was kind of Ira's point, not to spoil the whole damn video, but, if you have to bring more pressures, then you're leaving some dudes on an island. And can they handle themselves in those situations? Because sometimes you don't get home. And that pisses us off here in this fan base, every fan base.
I think
we've seen a lot of
that. I think Amari and Cooper can.
You think Noles maybe can?
That's the hope, right?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, that's the hope. We'll see if I don't want to leave Jarvis Brownlee on an island.
Right. Definitely not Jerry on.
No. So we start limiting the number of guys you can have on the field. That situation. Yeah. But if we're talking about play, let me ask you this, because I kind of alluded to this as well in the video. It's a lengthy video, so you guys go watch it when it comes up. But how many guys? I mean, there aren't too many segment groups on this football team where you go, you know what? That's a group that I set it and forget it. I trust them. I feel pretty good about that. Like you don't say that about too many groups. Are there any groups you say that about? Yeah, the defensive line, the interior of the defensive line is who you say that about, right? They would be the first group that comes to mind where you go, you know what? We're good there. We're good. We got 3 really reliable guys in the middle that I feel very strongly about. I feel, they're plus players and they've got a lot of experience and they're the requisite size. So you feel good about that. The next group that you would say that about are these defensive backs. And it's because that there's a good chance a guy like Shaheem Brown takes a big step forward this year, right? They loved him last year. He's a redshirt freshman. He got a lot of time. Big kid, might have to be a situational guy, but you feel good about him stepping forward and playing good football this year. You think Kevin Noles will certainly do that with the experience that he got. The aforementioned Amari Cooper is a guy you feel very good about. You have guys that can flat out play. Jamie Robinson can flat out play. All right, so you got another guy in Jamie Robinson. I think Jarian Jones is going to be better than he was a year ago. I think he has a chance to be a good football player. I mean, at times he was a good football player for us last year. Brownlee is who he is. A pretty average corner who plays with great passion and heart. He's an effective football player.
And he can tackle.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So, Sidney Williams is a thumper, doesn't cover well. Be interesting to see what he does this year. They've talked highly about Jarquez McClellan in this camp. And
flash with a couple of turnovers.
That's right. Renardo Green seems to have a renewed interest and, more importantly, health. He had a problem with injury. So, and then we'll see. I don't know. Given that they were forced to play some young guys last year, you saw that it's possible that guys like that can come in and actually have a positive impact on your team. Who knows? Maybe Sam McCall, as a true freshman, comes in and has a positive impact on your team. He can really run. We know that. He's 6'1" with long arms and he can fly. There may be a facet of his game that translates year one.
Yeah, what's interesting is now looking back and thinking
Zaria Thomas, who I failed to mention.
Yeah, who is smooth,
yeah, so there's a lot of guys here.
Coach Fuller said last year in fall camp when we did the luncheon, like we're going to do tomorrow over at the stadium, excited about that, the luncheon and we get to talk to assistant coaches. The first thing he said before fall camp started was we need to carve out roles right now because it's nice that you have players that can play multiple positions, but that's not what we're trying to do here.
Yeah,
we got to solidify whose job is it to play this position, whose job is it to play and exceed at that position, excel at that position. And in retrospect, what's funny is it clearly took them a month to do so, because in the interview he had earlier this week on this show, he said that Louisville game, we shortened the bench a little bit.
Yeah.
We figured out who could play
half,
where.
Yeah.
So their goal was to carve out roles in fall camp. That was a failure, apparently. But by the time they got through Louisville week 4, and they were 0-4, they decided that, okay, these are the 4 or 5 guys that are going to be the principal players at safety, slot corner, and so forth. And that's what happened. From that point on, the reason that I feel like you can set it and forget it with this position group is because by the end of the year, they knew where the hell each other were going to be. There was a chemistry involved with the way they played, and it looked very controlled. Rather than a bunch of freelancing and finger pointing like we've seen a lot of the last 5 or 6 years, you knew where somebody was going to be based upon where the football went a certain part of the field.
Yeah.
That sounds like small things, but again, we've been dealing as a program for a long time where there were no small things being done, no little things.
Let's find out if our trust is warranted. We've been wrong. You and I believed last year we were going to see much better play from this unit. We didn't. We thought the year before there was a chance that they were emerging and that there was enough bodies and that they could probably be one of the strengths of the team, I think we said. They weren't. So here we go. Once again, we're entering spring football. Tomorrow, you and me, rest of the Warchant staff, will be at the luncheon talking to coaches. We will have the opportunity. We'll attend the press conference. We'll all get geeked for spring football like we always do. And here we are the day before saying, you know what, I really like this secondary. So put it in the column again because we're doing it again. Let's see if it happens. I think it's going to. You think it's going to, but we've been burned before. So my point is, I get that listeners are like, sure, Jeff. Sure, Tom. Yeah. And fill us with hope about the secondary. Go ahead.
Fully understand that. I get that more than most because I was pissed about this defensive. I mean, it was just after Labor Day. I'm saying, can we stop saying that and declaring these guys risks? But by the end of the year, you had at least 3, if not maybe 4 out of your 5 that you said, oh, wait a minute. They've got a home at outside corner, at slot corner, at safety. This works. We haven't been able to say that in 3 or 4 years. And that's what you're going into the offseason with, which is different than in previous years, which is, can you make this magic happen out of nothing? So it's at least better in that regard.
Answer a question on the chat before we go to break, Gator Kirk, and some folks have asked this before too. Since we're going to be at the luncheon tomorrow, will there be a Jeff Cameron show? The answer is a resounding yes. Yes, there will be a Jeff Cameron show. The first hour will be pre-recorded. It's me and Tom kind of talking about what we're excited about, looking forward to both, the press conference from Mike Norvell and the interaction with the coaches. We get to see and talk with all the coaches tomorrow. And we'll learn something from that, but we'll do the first hour pre-recorded. The second hour will be live. We are going to race over immediately following the luncheon in our conversations as we garner audio from coaches and players and the like. Then we'll race back over here and do the second hour live. So get a half live show and a half pre-recorded show, but the pre-record is tomorrow morning, so it's not like we're going to miss out on the day's events or anything that may break today. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Leon County Supervisor of Elections Marcus Early announced Wednesday that the county will mail letters out to county voters whose voter registration records are missing key information. Early said the information missing from some voters' registration records include a Florida driver's license number, state ID card number, or the last 4 digits of their social security number. A recent change in Florida law now requires election offices to verify one of these numbers before updating voter addresses. Voters with questions are encouraged to contact the elections office by email at vote@leonvotes.gov or by phone at 850-606-8683. Florida A&M University will be featured on a race car during the NASCAR Cup Series race in Las Vegas on March 6th. The partnership between FAMU and New York Racing Team will showcase the Rattler logo on the hood and FAMU branding on their number 44 Chevy, driven by Greg Biffle. The Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway drops the green flag at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Daytime highs approaching 81 this afternoon under partly cloudy skies, winds out of the west around 5 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 50 tonight, mainly clear skies and quiet. Bright sunshine expected tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 83. Dry with temperatures well above average Saturday and Sunday and highs in the low 80s. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 80.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
goodness.
Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
It's Congressman Michael Waltz on the Greg Tish Show.
Good morning, Congressman. How are you doing?
Hey, doing well.
Again, just what you have to go through day in and day out. I don't know how you have hair left, or like Matty Rowe, just completely bald.
Hey,
sorry.
And the irony of it all, the progressives are the tail wagging the dog. This whole bipartisan White House is a joke. We're just watching them, eat their own.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Defensive back talk, but then and move forward. But you got to see you watched Azure Thomas more than I did. I saw Sam McCall and I was impressed. But what was it? Fluidity that you love?
The fluidity.
Well,
yeah,
he's a big kid too.
Yeah, he runs like Carlos Beltran. It just doesn't look like he's moving, but then you realize he is, and here's why: because he was running next to Sam McCall, and McCall was hustling quick, and that was in those first agility drills when they moved over to the right side of the practice facility where we were standing. And the defense came over there. I think they were the second group to do that. And it was Hunter Washington, Sam McCall, and Azariah Thomas, 1, 2, 3 across. And that he would finish at or in front of Sam McCall. And it looks like McCall's really running, and it doesn't look like Azariah is. I'm thinking, man, that looks like the body type of an over-the-top safety who can just glide from sideline to sideline. Now, I don't know what position they're going to have him play. And we're going to find out. That's the great mystery for early on in his career. But to me, that just looks like the body type of an enforcer type safety. We'll see. We'll see, though.
Let's check Jeff's prize picks selections mid-show, just because it's going to bother me if I don't. And I want to pimp prize picks. Go log in there and get your Warchant password set up there, the passcode.
That's right.
And
promo code.
Promo code is the way to do it there. And let's see here. I'm going to click on my entry.
We can do it like those bad TV commercials. Use promo code Warchant at checkout.
Matsuyama's round is nearly in the books. Ooh, I'm sweating it out, buddy. Right now, I'm set. We got it. It's done. Woo!
The director is off camera here and clearly has calculated these over-unders from prizepicks.com. That's fantastic.
Sung J M also in the books for hole 16.
That's a shrug.
No, I'm good. Carded a 4 on the par 5 16. That is, I went under for my prize picks. Flex play, people. Sung J M, Hideki Matsuyama, under 4.5 shots, hole 16. Both birdied the hole. That is an under combo. Good for $100 to your boy. Woo! That's a good thing.
Finally, the director made his Warchant TV debut, I think, there.
I wasn't watching
this.
Yeah,
move the camera just so they could see him reviewing the facts and giving you the thumbs up or the shrugs.
All right, another pick, which appears to be pretty good. Keegan Bradley, is he in the house? Is his round near hole 14, 15? Where's he at? Come on home, Keegan. Let's come on home and not hit any more fairways. We're good? That's good news.
This is bad radio.
Stop worrying about the camera.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, he's done for the day.
Oh, man. Got it again.
There you go.
We went under 9.5 fairways hit for Keegan Bradley. He only hit 7. Oh, wayward ass. All right. By the way, Tommy Fleetwood, don't go out there screwing this up. I got him under 9 fairways, and he is still on the course. He's still got a ways to go, I think. So we're all right. That may be yet another victory for your boy. Even more money on Prize Picks, where you'll use promo code WARCHANT when you sign up. Now, if I hit that one,
you should have seen the amount of signups there were last month.
Because I've been talking about
the
this?
heavy lifting. Unbelievable.
So
we'll get a renewal out of this, buddy.
I gotta tell you something. Kevin Kisner screwed me today. I had 3 wagers. It looks like I'm well on my way to winning 2 of the 3. So it's a profitable day in the Cameron household on Prize Picks. But Kevin Kisner hit 11 fairways today.
Ooh, all right.
I had him going under 10.5.
Living right. He played well last week, too.
He hit 11 fairways. How are you not? His score should be so much better. What are we doing? We're hitting.
Well, he doesn't hit it anywhere. Remember that was the Aaron Hills against Brooks, wasn't it? Kisner versus Brooks.
That was
and he hit it like 260, and Brooks is carrying it like 295.
Best thing I ever saw was Dustin Johnson playing with Zach Johnson, our latest Ryder Cup captain, Zach Johnson, and down in Doral, and went down there, watched that tournament, and they had to play together. And I thought, oh no, Zach, this is not.
So if Zach Johnson is our Ryder Cup captain, does that mean that tack glasses are going to be on Ryder Cup commercials? Huh?
Zach had to lay up. I think it's on 16 at Doral, and you can drive the green, but you have to carry 300 yards, and Dustin did, and Zach laid up with a 7-iron. It was like, oof.
So you've got a note on the chat from the director telling you that Tommy Fleetwood's had 4 fairways through 7 holes.
Okay.
There you go.
We'll keep watching.
We are really deep diving into these PGA over-unders.
Well, hold on. Tommy Fleetwood still got to hit five more fairways. I don't know if he's got it in him. 5 more fairways in the next 12 holes, right? Or is he through 7?
Through 7, I believe.
Okay. All right. Hang in there, Tommy. Yay, Prize Picks. This is where Thursday.
It's a non-major. It's a Thursday. I think Tommy Fleetwood might do okay.
Hey, Thursday rounds on the PGA Tour. This happens to be Bay Hill, but it could be anywhere, folks. You hear me talking? Could be anywhere. And that's how things get even more interesting. Like, I like golf in and of itself. I would watch anyhow. But if you want to spice up your life a little bit, go ahead and maybe bet some over-unders on fairways, hits, greens in regulation, total strokes on a Thursday. And, man.
We should pick in the summer, right, when it's just dead. We should pick a random Thursday to go to Bumpa's or go to Corner Pocket and bring the show. And it's just a live show that maybe it's carried on the air, maybe it's not. But all it is rowdy PGA Tour first round coverage watching based upon these overs and unders.
Well,
called the Degenerate Summer PGA Show.
Yeah. Well, we did you got a little taste of it right here on a Thursday. You got a little taste of this segment. All right. Prize Picks, promo code WARCHANT. Really, you ought to be able to put promo code WARCHANT and thanks to Jeff. That's what you ought to be able to do, but I don't get any extra kickback for that, so just go ahead and use promo code WARCHANT. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
It's time to save some money and fill your tummy. Text the word foodies to 850-230-9456 and win 10% off your first order at foodiestakeout.com from great local restaurants like Horizons Grill, El Jalisco, Jerry's Midtown Cafe, and many more. Text the word foodies to 230-9456. That's 230-9456. Join the Foodies Takeout family and text foodies to 230-9456 and win now.
Were you sold a lifetime of dream vacations only to get stuck in a timeshare with a lifetime of rising fees, point scams, and lies?
I was completely taken advantage of.
They stole from us. They were thieves.
Chuck McDowell, CEO of Wesley Financial Group, has been fighting and winning battles with timeshare companies for over a decade, canceling over 16,000 timeshares, resulting in $257 million of timeshare debt eliminated.
I believe that it's my job and my duty to help people out of their timeshare if they've been allowed to and they've been done wrong.
If it wasn't for Wesley, I would be broke.
Wesley Financial Group has thousands of verified reviews, averaging 4.9 and 5 stars for a reason. They get results.
I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
For your free consultation and information kit, call now. 800-969-5511. 800-969-5511. That's 800-969-5511.
Did you know metal roofs' survivability far exceeds that of traditional shingle roofs? It's time to consider a metal roof from Metal Roofing Sales of Tallahassee. We provide the best quality, least expensive material and accessories in the area, as well as material pickup and delivery. Our painted panels qualify for the City of Tallahassee's low-interest Energy Star loan program also. And don't forget about our veteran and law enforcement discount. Give Metal Roofing Sales a call today at 536-9123, 536-9123.
This is Patty Wilson.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're ready.
He's recording.
Why are you always saying your last name? It's Patty and Scott. Everybody knows
that.
Patty and Scott.
I don't know. This is Patty Wilson. Not this is. I am Patty Wilson.
What is the idea behind said promo?
It's for Patty's Playhouse. We're on Patty's Playhouse Saturdays at 11. Tune in. That's stupid. Just tune in. Saturdays at 11. Patty Wilson, Patty's Playhouse. House talk with a happy ending.
Each and every time.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Kenny Pickett's hands measure 8.5 inches, smaller than any quarterback currently in the NFL. Doris Burke, drinking her morning coffee, pulls up ESPN.com, reads that headline, and spits it out all over the table. Devastated to learn that Kenny Pickett, stout athlete that he is, has tiny hands, not large hands.
He better not get drafted by my Steelers.
You efforting to do Doris Burke indecently is.
It's not a bad Doris Burke.
It's not bad.
It's limited.
It's limited. The tenors there, though, I guess. She read that headline and went, "My God, I hope he never shares a locker room with Kawhi Leonard." What a tough moment that would be.
He has to go to the children's locker room.
Like me looking for shoes that day. That poor man. I still feel bad about that. That's all.
That was.
Yeah. Faux pas.
That was next level.
That was emasculating for him. It was tough. Shouldn't have said that. But Kenny Pickett, small hands, whatever.
It's a great life hack, though. The adult sizes and the children's sizes for women. Correct. Right, to get a youth large rather than pay the full price for a female size shirt. Yeah. As long as they like the cut of the youth shirt, then you save like $20 on a Mets shirt or a Minnesota Twins shirt. I've never learned this before.
You know what I would do if I were analyzing quarterbacks that I potentially wanted to draft, and we had to do the interview and obviously all the physical tests as they get set for the combine, all the fun stuff, right? Running and jumping and lifting and all that. You know what I'd do? I'd say, "Hey, Kenny, here's a football. Throw it. Here, Kenny, here's a wet football. Grab it, run around with it, throw it. We good? We good? No problems there? All right, we're done here. I don't care if you have 5-inch hands. I mean, it's a shame for you. But beyond that, you can throw the football. That's what I'm really concerned about."
That would be physically amazing, though. You know? Look at this guy. He can sling 70 yards.
It's like Trump's tiny hands. Every time you look at him, you just start giggling. Ridiculous child's hands. So I'm looking at Kenny Pickett's hands. I'm like, they look like normal hands. Moreover, can he throw a football? Yeah, looks like he can throw a football. And guess what? In Pittsburgh, it's freezing. When he played at Pitt, it's cold. It was at a couple snow games. It was rain. You've got plenty of evidence that suggests it doesn't affect him. And guess what else? You're allowed to wear gloves. You can wear gloves. And he did, by the way, on his throwing hand at Pitt. Wear a glove, which is kind of strange. But if you can do it, it's not against the rules, and it helped you hold the football, I don't really care. But they'll make a huge deal out of this. You watch all the mocks. Well, Johnny, I love his ability, but these hands.
So
zoom in on them. You have to. They're so small.
The threshold for mock drafts with trades now is it's moving ever still as we're monitoring because Mel Kiper's second mock draft this year, 2.0, never done before. 2.0 includes trades. It used to be 4.0 or 5.0.
Oh, I want massive trades everywhere. Blockbuster trades.
Do you know why?
Abound.
Because it's all trench players. It's boring. This year's draft is boring.
Well, we need trench players, and thankfully there's an abundance of them, so there you go.
Oh, it doesn't mean that it won't help your franchise, but for the networks, for the websites, they're in trouble this year. It's a slow year for Mel, so they had to break out the trades with 2.0.
Think about how incredibly awkward it would be doing an interview, and they said, let me see your hand. Just think how weird that would be. Like, well, I'm not a heroin addict. What are you looking for? I mean, it would just be strange,
Next time this comes up, we'll prep it because I want Matthew to grab either an animation or just the photo of Ace Ventura grabbing Don Shula's hand in Ace Ventura Pet Detective. Remember, he puts the mail in the mailbox, and you see him in there, and he's got the lighter on because he's trying to check for the missing stone in the '84 AFC Championship ring. Because that's what it looks like. Like Lemony Snicket holding on to somebody's hand. It's like looking at it.
Oh, man. So Kenny Pickett, who I like in this draft, it's not a great quarterback draft. I do think he's going to be a pretty good player in the league. For what it's worth, I've learned enough to know that we don't know. That's what I've learned about the NFL draft when it comes to quarterbacks. Other positions, a little bit easier to guess. It is also never not fun to throw your 2 cents in on whether you think a college quarterback is going to be a good NFL quarterback, because we love to look back on all the times that we were terribly wrong and abundantly right. You and I would win an award for what we said Russell Wilson would be in the NFL and the mistakes that all of the teams were making as they overlooked him, because we first guessed it ages ago. But guess what?
We would have gotten rehired after being fired and getting other stuff wrong because we got that one right.
Yeah, but we've been really wrong about some guys too. And that happens because that's what happens with the pros who are paid millions of dollars to do the same.
Correct. But I think we were more right about the things we were right about, if you could follow that. Because Johnny Manziel was a polarizing figure.
I yelled it from the mountaintop.
It made no
sense. The kid couldn't play a lick of football at that level. People got mad. Joe Buck's fan got mad at me. I remember that. He was like, he wrote a story. I was in the story. I was like, what are you doing? He's terrible. Stop it.
Yeah, because they pushed for it. They wanted it.
He can't play, obviously.
Thankfully, we took Mike Evans.
Well, by the way, you know who else I don't think is going to be able to play? And now, go ahead, because if I'm wrong here, I'm making it abundantly clear that I think there's no chance that your boy at North Carolina can play a lick.
Oh, yeah, Sam Howell?
I don't understand these talks. I do not get it. I don't see it.
I don't disagree.
At all. Like, not even a little bit.
It was part of the fraudulence that is North Carolina going into last year. It's like, so what? He's not even the best quarterback in the ACC. What are we doing? Oh, there it is. Yeah, Matthew's got it. Yeah, there he is. He's studying the hand.
I forgot about that. Oh, that's a great scene. Got Joe Burrow right, by the way.
Oh,
I nailed Joe Burrow.
Yeah, the swagger matters too. That matters,
man.
That dude is fearless.
Everything about old Joe, solid as a rock, man. I'm like, that guy right there.
If his career does not go 10 to 12 years, it's for reasons that don't have anything to do with football. It's either he retires because he's bored and he wants to rule the world in Monaco or something, or he gets hurt. There's no way that dude doesn't have a long career unless it stops for bad injury loss.
Well, he may get hurt. I mean, they don't block for him very well.
Yes. I mean, there's a decent chance that's the way it goes.
He's been hurt a lot, so that is a little disconcerting. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with us, Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, right in Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
Незважаючи на те, що їх у десятки разів більше, моральний стан ворога.
That's the sound of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in a televised statement, urging Ukrainians to resist the Russians and telling them to go home. Meanwhile, the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, Karim Khan, has told the BBC he's dispatched a team to Ukraine to start gathering and preserving any evidence of atrocities that fall within the court's jurisdiction.
The ICC has the power to look at things like the indiscriminate shelling of residential areas, any deliberate targeting of civilians or buildings that have no military link, like concert halls or TV towers, or the use of weapons that are imprecise and could result in civilian casualties, like cluster munitions or vacuum bombs. The investigators will be collecting clues to build a picture on the ground to establish a chain of command and eventually bring charges against the people at the top giving the orders and orchestrating this invasion.
BBC correspondent Anna Holligan with that report. Also at townhall.com, fewer Americans are applying for unemployment benefits last week.
The Labor Department says jobless claims fell by 18,000 to 215,000 for the week ending February 26th. The 4-week average for claims, which compensates for weekly volatility, fell by 6,000 to 230,500. In total, 1,476,000 Americans were collecting jobless aid for the week that ended February 12th. That's a small uptick of 2,000 from the previous week's revised number.
Correspondent Jeremy House with that report. First-time applications for jobless aid generally track the pace of layoffs, which are back down to fairly healthy pre-pandemic levels now. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. The Dow is up 85 points, but the Nasdaq down 124. More at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm cute kid number 1. And I'm cute kid number 2. And we have been forced, you mean hired? We have been hired to tell you what direct lender FOMO is. So let's say you buy a new home and maybe you use one of those big mortgage monsters. Or someone your realtor or friend recommends. And then a few months later, you hear us being forced, hired to tell you about our mortgage team's direct lender advantage. And then you feel like you missed out. Because you probably did miss out. And that is direct lender FOMO.
It's Ryan, and our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions within its own walls. There's no middleman. This often allows us to get you a better rate on that new home mortgage, saving you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Line bracket NMLS number 65233. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
See Nice Tire and Auto Service at 4792 Bluntstown Highway today. The ASC trained technicians at Nice take the guesswork out of fixing your car. That's why wherever you see the Goodyear sign, you'll find what you want in tires and service. From preventative maintenance to a major overhaul and everything in between, you name it. Plus, Nice's services are backed by a nationwide limited warranty. Stop by Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, buddy. There it is. Choo-choo! You may say, I don't know, Cameron, your heart wasn't into that one. Didn't feel like it was full-throated. Efforts seem to be lacking. But they're not going dancing without a magical week in Brooklyn. So I can't quite get all the way there with you. I can just give you a little, hey, that a boy kind of choo-choo. That a boy. That's the way you step up. That's the way you step up and you get a win at home and you protect this court, damn it. You don't just stroll into the TLC double C and expect to walk away with a victory. Not when I put that reverse jinx on your ass and bet on you to do so like we did yesterday. That's the best money I've lost this year. Taking Notre Dame -2. Felt good to lose that money. I was like, be free. Be free. Go ahead and leave me. But I got it all back because Miami beat Boston College, and I laid the 4 and said, nay. I'm going to protect myself.
You don't have to worry about the word expect when it comes to Notre Dame strolling into the TLC double C.
I ain't winning.
They just don't walk in and walk out with a victory, period. They don't.
They don't do that, Tom. They don't do that. You're right. Doesn't that just warm your heart?
Yeah. I think it's the distraction factor of seeing a non-dump of a town. And they're like, oh, wait, I could be here instead? Or places like this?
I ended up in South Bend in the middle of nowhere, freezing cold with this dump of a town, and now I have great regrets. And we're down 7. So you think this was happening?
Mom, it was 80 when we got down there. It was gorgeous.
Slight breeze, no humidity, blue skies as far as the eye could see. I heard these gentlemen on the radio airwaves that were dogging us talking about going to play golf next. Can you imagine me in South Bend, Indiana, going to play golf in March? Ain't going to happen.
Why did we listen to Father Donnelly?
So Florida State wins, and that is a glorious thing. Very, very proud of them. Very happy that they fought, continued to fight, and they knock off Notre Dame. And in a game that, again, didn't start in a way, at least at halftime, it was not a game that I thought, oh, you know what? Florida State's going to be all right. 44-39 at the break. Notre Dame was kind of getting what they wanted. And I thought, well, if that continues into the second half, we'll lose the game. But they did what a lot of teams do. They fall into this trap. You got to remember it's college kids, and it does happen, but it's got to be infinitely frustrating for coaches. They were doing business in the paint. They added a distinct advantage in the paint against Florida State, yet they love to live and die by the three-point shot. And in the second half, they couldn't hit one. Quite literally couldn't hit one. And no matter how many good looks they got, that shot wouldn't fall, and they remained undeterred in the sense that they should have just continued to feed the post. They didn't. Another thing for Florida State that, I give the kids a lot of credit for, 16 assists against only 9 turnovers in that second half. They were really, really good there. And they out-rebounded Notre Dame in the second half too. They did some things to correct some problems from the first half to give themselves a chance to win. And I praise John Butler to start the show. I'll do it again here for those that missed that. That's a young man. He's got a beautiful shot. When you watch him shoot the ball, you say that is repeatable, that will travel, that will continue to be an asset of his game that I think serves him well moving forward, because he's not a guy you're going to block a shot. So when you've got that repeatable release, you've got good balance. He squares his shoulders. He's beautiful to watch shoot the basketball. Last night he was 4 of 5 from 3, 16 points, 8 boards, a steal, 4 block shots. That is uber production right there.
It's not quite equal parts revenge for our failures up in the dump of a town in South Bend last year, and coughing up the ACC regular season title.
Damn it, man!
But it was a nice bit of revenge. It was more than an appetizer's worth of revenge served up last night, because now Notre Dame is back squarely on the bubble. They're on the good side of it, but they will have trepidation in their matchup with Pitt to close out their ACC regular season. That's always nice to see, that long look on the players' faces, like, oh bleep, we are now on the bubble again. There you go. That's not where we're living this year, but it's nice to serve it back to Notre Dame just a little bit. And hey, you never know. If they trip up on Saturday, then they're going to look back at this particular game and say, this is where it all went wrong in Tallahassee. We just can't get a win down there. I did happen by their message boards, and it was a nice place to be.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Yeah, see, Schadenfreude. There
Absolutely.
it is. It's a lot of fun to happen by one's message board.
Inexcusable was a word that I saw a lot there.
That is great. I love it. Did you happen by Virginia's message boards after they were sent packing on senior night to the NIT? I did. Oopsie. I made my way into the chat here at Virginia.
I figured all the threads would say, well, we still have 95.
So today we shot a video for Warchant TV, warchant.com. It'll be up tomorrow at the latest, maybe tonight. It is a defensive back preview. Yesterday on the show, we had Tony Tokars, quarterback coach, on the program. If you missed it, that video is up on warchant.com. You can see it there. Click on that, Warchant TV on YouTube, and you'll see me talking to Tony. And I got to tell you, when I click on that video just to see, how it looks on the screen, and also to get our click count up, Tom, I got to do it. I do my part. I'm a company player. So I clicked on it, Tom.
Breaking news.
I have to tell you something. That shirt I was wearing is fantastic. And it really plays well on TV. The Tampa Bay shirt that I wore yesterday. It's just a beautiful shirt. Just want you to know that.
Oh, between that and all the uppity 80s tennis polos you're buying, I mean, you know what? Your wardrobe is taking quite a turn.
Brand new Fila on the way.
Oh my God.
Brand new Fila
so
on the way.
You decided somewhere along the line, instead of being a sneakerhead, because you've confessed that you're starting to that again.
Well, hold on.
Instead, you're going to become a tennis throwback shirt guy.
Well, and tracksuit. I've got the Fila and Diodora and Sergio Tacchini tracksuits coming.
Okay.
Tennis tracksuits. McEnroe, Vielander, Borg. Exactly.
So these are your new toys. This is your 50-year-old foray into the past, huh?
And I'm pulling the trigger on Diodora Borg Overland trainers that are sweet as hell. Those are shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, trainers, yeah.
They're beautiful. Yeah. Where do you see these puppies?
Okay. One more question then.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, Wednesday, right? That's the 8-9 game, is the noon game. It used to be the old FSU Clemson play-in slot.
Yep.
All right. Will you wear the velvet? You have not.
Yeah, I haven't broken out this year. You want me to wear it?
Well, you could wear it into the studio, and then depending upon how the game's going, you could decide whether or not it graces the Warchant TV viewing experience or not.
I'll do it. I can't wait for my Sergio Tacchini McEnroe track top to get here. It will be here next week. It's coming from England.
You got to wear the one of the whole training suits, right?
Oh, yeah.
For the tournament. Maybe for the golf tournament.
You want me to wear my Fila track?
I think that would be amazing.
My Heritage Eclipse.
Usually you wear something
navy.
noisy or that stands out for the golf tournament. If you wore the tracksuit, that'd be amazing.
I could. They make some Fila shorts. The problem is I will not pull the trigger on those because, man, I don't know what was going on in the 80s, but dudes were in a hurry to show off their testicles. These shorts are out of control. I cannot find shorts that get anywhere near the knee.
That's kind of making a comeback too.
You saw disturbing trend.
You saw Kofor last year, and then also on the golf course. That's also in vogue these days. The weekend hackers are now wearing the shorts that are way up there, especially when they're sitting in the cart. You're like, yo, man, I'm not sitting in the cart with you.
It bothers me. I'm disturbed. You can't even go back and watch 80s NBA because of that problem. Like you try to go back and watch like a Larry Bird highlight or a Dominique Wilkins highlight or something like that. And you're
all those baseline angles.
Oh no!
Yeah, those baseline cameras. Like the guy who got stomped by Rodman. That's the wrong angle.
James Worthy. I mean, him and Magic Johnson. It's like they really didn't want to wear pants.
An unfortunate name for this particular topic.
It's troubling. Okay. I don't know how I steer us clear there. I got to get us back on track. I will in a moment. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV.
Choose Hearth and Patio for custom fireplaces, maintenance, outdoor grills, kitchens, fire pits, lighting, and so much more. Check out all of Hearth and Patio's options online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth and Patio, they keep the home fires burning.
Refreshing and simple. 2 words you don't hear many people use to describe their experience going through the process of getting a home loan. That's what puts the Hamilton Home Loans experience in a category all their own. If you're buying or refinancing a home, Hamilton Home Loans will provide a personalized mortgage experience that is dedicated to making the process refreshingly simple. It all begins with an initial consultation with an experienced Hamilton Home Loans advisor to find out what your goals are in order to find the right mortgage to suit your specific needs. Then, your personal home loan advisor will take you through all the steps from application, underwriting, approval, and closing, all the way to the front steps of your new home. Once you've experienced the Hamilton Home Loan process, you can be a customer for life and never have to pay lender fees again. For first responders, nurses, physician assistants, teachers, active and retired military, ask about the Hamilton for Heroes program. Personalized attention with your needs put first. Now that's refreshingly simple. Find out more at HamiltonHomeLoans.com. That's HamiltonHomeLoans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 200719.
There was a time when a person's word was enough, a time when a handshake meant something and integrity really mattered. Farm Bureau Insurance continues to live by these principles. That's our pledge, and it hasn't changed since the day we got started. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. I'm Andy Cohen with Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. Please call me at 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. From Hurricane Kate to Hurricane Michael, Tallahassee has been through a lot, and we've been right here with you because helping you is what we do best.
Southeast Portable Buildings has storage sheds that range in size from as little as 6x8 or as large as 24x30 and everything in between. They offer multiple styles, materials, and color options to match your home, and they even have two-tone color options. You can choose between a steel frame or wood frame building. You know what you need to do? Call them today and go out and see them. 580-6400. That's 580-6400. Or visit them online at southeastportablebuildings.com.
While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. At Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
Do you have taxiety, that uncertain feeling before doing your taxes? Filing on your own or choosing the wrong partner can be stressful. Connect with Liberty Tax and then just breathe in and cash out.
Pay no out-of-pocket expenses.
Sounds like a mantra.
Visit StopTaxiety.com to schedule your appointment and say farewell to the stress of tax season. Liberty Tax. Let's end taxiety. At participating locations, terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Okay, so we got the chorizo dumplings, the cucumber empanadas.
Zara's food truck is popping off.
Come on, guys, let's pick it up, all right?
But if she doesn't find a new chef, her truck will be stuck.
Carl quit this morning, so Jessica, I'm gonna need you on the fryer.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
Chad and Shannon, the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans, on board here on the Jeff Cameron Show. We're really happy to have them. And look, we've got great sponsors throughout the show and throughout the week, and I'm really happy to have Chad and Shannon on board with us. If you want a personalized mortgage loan experience that is built just for you, they do it. They do it, and your needs are met immediately. It's refreshingly simple. Of course, that's what you want. I mean, most of us don't know anything about home loans or how it gets done and you wanting to get the best rates and all of that, but they do. That's what they do, and they're Noles. They are diehard Noles, and they love working with Noles, and that's why they're on board with us. It's refreshingly simple, as I said, at HamiltonHomeLoans.com. That's HamiltonHomeLoans.com, but you can also go to FSUHomeLoans.com, FSUHomeLoans.com. If you forget it or something like that, FSUHomeLoans.com will help you out. That's what you got. It's a good thing. Did mention this earlier. Should. Short segment. Take an inventory. Here you go. Maddie McCormick, Tom, is being added, it looks like, as Director of Recruiting Operations. She's an Arizona graduate, previously served as a coordinator of on-campus recruiting for the Arizona Wildcats. Now she gets to do some coordination and recruiting for a place that actually plays college football. How exciting for her. Warchant obviously has this story if you want to read more. I tease a little bit, but so I don't know. It looks like we are definitely committed to adding staff members to help this thing out. Let's go.
5 or 6 now.
Yeah. Every day we come in here, there seems to be another addition, something new to tell people about. I got to learn about exactly how that works and what they do. I mean, the name, the title for her job seems self-explanatory, but I'm kind of curious to see what they do.
That's one thing I would think that the staff at Warchant, not including us, is going to get a little bit more insight to tomorrow, because at 1:00. So the way it works for us tomorrow is 11:30. Mike Norvell speaks to the assembled press for the pre-spring press conference. That'll probably be streaming live, or you'll have the videos up right after on Warchant TV. And then from 12 to 1, we have the lunch itself that is served along with the assistant coaches. And that's where we grab them for individual interviews or group interviews, breakouts, whatever. At 1:00 is when the support staff meets with all of the assembled media. Well, that's when we're going to be booking it here to the studio to go live at 2 with our thoughts.
Get out the way, everybody, when you see the QX80 rolling down Monroe.
You can anticipate all those names that we've heard and we've seen on warchant.com reported, these additions to the FSU support staff. You'll get stories and nuggets of information about them tomorrow and in the coming days.
Also, we already mentioned it earlier, but speaking of support staff, we'll learn more about John Garrett, the director of scouting on offense. Guy has an extensive coaching background, both in the NFL and in college football, and having been with our Tampa Bay Buccaneers at one point.
That's cool. Well, I mean, this is, again, it's something that Director Michael Alford, pushed for immediately. Upon being hired and getting the job, it was that football is going to get the lion's share of discretionary dollars, if we have such a thing in the athletic department right now, for extra hires so that we can close the gap between us and the haves.
I know that Garrett is not allowed to do any on-field coaching, but I think he should. I think that he ought to be able to go down there and talk with our tight ends. We have 105 of them. One is marginally decent. The others either haven't been on the field, or if they have, they're unnoticeable. At one time, Coach Garrett, now part of the staff, as I mentioned, not only was a head coach in college football, but has been a position coach in the NFL. One of those position coaches' duties, one of those jobs, was tight ends coach. So for the Bucs and Cowboys, come on, man, we got to ratchet up the production there.
It's a big position in the offense. It's one of the position groups, the only position group that we didn't do a preview for as a dedicated video feature.
It'd have been a short one.
Right, it would have been 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Cam McDonald's back for another year. We'll see if anybody else pans out.
There's Cam. And here's a list of all the other guys who are allegedly playing tight end.
Remember, everybody, to like this video and subscribe to Warchant TV for the latest. Yada, yada.
Yeah, would have been tough. But listen, perhaps it happens. First of all, I only half kid when I say I know you're not allowed to do certain things. There are no rules here, man. What are we talking about? There are no rules, not in the world of college football. Every day you read something that suggests that there are no rules here. So.
Sure. Well, there could be, instruction in maybe the meeting rooms, but there couldn't be on the practice fields because we get to go see every one of these practices. So they can't be that bold.
Why not? Are you going to write about it? Are you going to talk about it?
No, but I wouldn't like to be put in that position where, some of our colleagues who are less seasoned and have done things like that before, like, hey, guess what? We have a trick punt in which Carlos Williams gets the ball on a sweep a month before the national championship game.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Well, I would just tell you that I would press the issue in our efforts to get better. All jokes aside, if you're Mike Norvell, we keep talking about spring football for a reason. A, we love football. We're desperate to see Florida State be good again, etc. We all get that. This is a vital year, as in he has to save his job. I'm not saying he will be fired this year if he doesn't have a good season. I'm saying that it would be a foregone conclusion that he will not be the guy moving forward 2 and 3 years from now if they do not have a good season this year. And it sounds harsh, and people are like, what are you talking about? No, look, man, you've got to have a good season. You will lose everybody. We've exhausted patience. I get it. I've talked about how far down the road we were going to have to go to get some semblance of high-level football around here. I mean, we talked about the shambles this program was in when they made the decision to fire Willie Taggart and how that would set you back even further. I wasn't against firing him, but I did acknowledge that if you did, you'd be set back even further. So you were going to be willing to take a big step back yet again in order to take a step forward, and you wanted to get on with that process. Okay, fine. But that guaranteed you were going to struggle to see something close to a 9 or 10 win season in the near future. And that has been the case. This has been a major rebuild, and it still is. But I don't think there's much left in the way of patience. I don't think people have it anymore. I think if this team goes out and goes 6-6 or 7-5, Tom, that, yeah, he'll be back because they can't afford to fire him, but he'd be a dead man walking.
It depends on the 7-5.
I don't think so. I think it's irrelevant. If you go
so it's 8 wins or bust, you're saying, period.
If you lose 5 games, you're going to have a bad loss. Another bad loss.
Yeah.
You just are. I'm this might be, I may be off. I'm trying to put my finger on the pulse is all I'm saying. I'm not telling you what I would do. And I'm not even talking about what's fair or not fair because it's a very nuanced discussion. It's not black and white, but I do think the fan base is like, okay, we have waited. We have trusted. We understand you were up against it with some terrible circumstances. Some of them you could have never controlled, but you did lose to Jacksonville State. That did happen. You were 0-4 last year with people just having career days against your secondary. You know what I mean? Like there's been enough bad in there that you can't excuse away either.
Yeah, correct. It's hard because of all of the new factors in college football. If this was 10 years ago, then it's a much easier discussion to have about success and failure.
Yeah,
but in the now,
it's
I wonder
very
if
complicated, Tom.
Because it's less expensive to double down on him and then get a better staff and say, listen, we're going to gut the coordinator roles here and we're going to bring in guys because we're going to go public and say that we are doubling down on you. We'll extend your contract and then we're going to spare no expense for assistant coaches.
Wouldn't matter because you will have lost your window and opportunity to bring in elite level players. When recruits see you firing staff members, they're not going to be like, oh, that's where I want to go. They're going to say they're on their last chance. This is it. Why do you think I'm just throwing this out there. Why do you think it was that he couldn't replace certain coaches on this staff like he wanted to this offseason?
Yeah, correct. No, that's true.
Okay.
This almost sounds like a solving the future question.
Well, we want to do that right now. We can solve for the future with my friends at ISF. And let's get right into it, and then I'll talk about ISF on the way out because I love them and they're partners and they're great, and I want you to know what they do. But seriously, they couldn't make the changes they wanted to make, I think, in part because people didn't want to hitch their wagon to what is perceived to be a program in which Mike Norvell may be a short-timer.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's absolutely why you weren't able to replace a couple of position coaches. But my question is, do we have to rethink the way the college football sequencing goes with coaches on the hot seat? And what is the final step? Because it used to be, not like last year, 2 years ago, that if a guy was on his last legs, it's you fire the coordinators and you keep him.
Right, but that was usually the indicator that time was up.
Right,
I mean,
but sometimes it would work.
Occasionally
it would. But what I'm saying is maybe that's not even the approach now. Maybe the approach is you make one final appeal to your boosters. That money that would have been spent on buyouts is now spent on NIL deals. I just wonder, where does the money go? How do you repair something faster nowadays? Is it a coaching staff overhaul? Or because you would go get bagmen back in the day. If it doesn't work, you go get it back. What does a bagman mean anymore?
Well, no, you got to.
You have Apex. You have Rising Spear.
You got to make sure that's working, and you got to go out and get your NIL situated, and you got to make sure you bring it. Yes, you're not going to. When we talk about infrastructure, we're not talking about buildings anymore. So other than the one they still have to build,
right.
That's it. But we're talking about using that money for players. That's what we now know, right? And so you're wondering.
I'm talking about, so how much because I believe players matter more than X's and O's, and I think you agree with that.
Oh, yeah, it's the Jimmys and Joes, not the X's and O's.
Gene Chizik won a title.
Well, right. A lot of dumb coaches have won because they had a preternaturally great player that changed the game. Sure.
Okay, so
Cam Newton.
It's like taking summer economics back in high school, and you do the projects with, all right, you're starting a business. Where do you put all of your resources?
Right. That's I like that.
So, okay, would you rather spend 10 mil on a buyout or whatever it is, or would you want to take that 10 million because you're so pissed off and funnel that into an NIL program and go get you 4 players who could make a huge difference on a week in and week out basis?
Now you're asking what I want to do, and as opposed to me projecting what I think the fan base's mood is or what I think is going to happen 2 and 3 years from now if he doesn't have a good season this year. I think Mike Norvell is a good coach. I have said that repeatedly. I believe Mike Norvell is a good football coach. I think that it may not work out for him here. I hope I'm wrong. And I believe this year is going to go a long way in being a deciding factor. So all I'm really getting at here is, and I'm not trying to be flip-floppy or wishy-washy, I'm just pointing out this is a damn critical year. And it's a critical year not because after it's over, he's gone. It's a critical year because if it's not a good year, he might as well be gone, is what I'm getting at. It's like you're just playing out the string from that point forward, which is hell on earth. You're in purgatory at that point because you know that eventually when the money's right, when it makes enough economic sense and you can stomach it, you're going to pull the trigger because now you will be in a place where you cannot convince elite recruits to come here. You have another middling season. They ain't coming. Now, you're going to say, well, pay him to come. Well, everybody else is paying him to come too.
Yeah.
And so their choices are, all right, I'm going to go and take that Florida State money. And it's a lot because they're desperate to win. But, then again, the kind of players that make the difference are also going to have those same offers from Georgia and Clemson and Florida and Alabama. And we're not going to win because then they're going to say, okay, one of these things is not like the other. The money's all good, but these guys just steady lose 5 and 6 games a year. So I'm not going there.
Agreed. Yeah. If it's a 50-50 and we know of, without getting into specific dollars and cents details, some of the offers that might have been out there this last recruiting cycle.
Right.
And how we were bettered. And yet we still out recruited maybe a university or two that might have come with more cash.
Yeah. Well,
and so we might be that team or that program that offers more, but they say, I don't know, man, a couple $100,000, a big difference. I'd rather go play for a program that's going to win. But I wonder if we need to rethink the model of hiring and firing in the era of the NIL, because I don't think it's as simple as you need a new coach. You need a new coach to get in there.
Deion Sanders hopes you're correct. What I would tell you, and yes, I think there's validity to this. I agree. I hope we don't end up at a place where we have to get rid of Mike. I don't want that to happen, and I think he's a good football coach, so I can't reiterate that enough. I want that to be clear, but I also know that sometimes good football coaches have to go win elsewhere. It happens all the time.
Agreed. Okay, so I just saw the Godfather the other night, right? And there's a line that says, I'm a businessman, Tom. Blood is a big expense, right? Well, firing is a huge expense.
It's a huge expense.
So the question
resetting, starting over is a huge expense.
And somehow you can cajole boosters to cough up $4, $8, $12 million over the course of 3 years out of nowhere. Money they never would have donated or put into the program.
Right. Yeah, well,
because they're so pissed off. So how do you convince those boosters to say, save your money on the back end here? Because if it doesn't go the way you think it's going to go, you're going to give me the $3 million anyway. Why don't you give it to me now and we put it into the NIL program?
It's hard to do.
That's a tough conversation to have.
It's a little bit like we're having the conversation yesterday about the players' union and management. Like, they all knew invariably we were going to end up in this place. And yet 46 days ago, when they locked them out, nobody thought to get to the table and avoid this problem until they felt a pinch. And I think that's what happens with donors. I think that boosters, in theory, that sounds great, Tom. You need a little bit more money from me up front right now, and we'll get to the winning this way. We're going to go at it differently. They don't do it. They get mad on a Saturday after a loss to Jacksonville State, and they go, you know what? I'm done with this son of a bitch. I am done with this. I am being made a fool of. My university is an embarrassment. And then they write that check.
Right.
Partly fueled by alcohol and anger.
Yeah. Well,
they stroke that check, buddy. Yeah. And that's how it happens, as opposed to a sunny Wednesday on the golf course where you're hanging out and going, John, I'm so happy as a fellow FSU alum that your business has been prosperous. I could use $100,000 because there's a safety we'd really like to bring in, and we're a little short. And if we bring him in, the wins you so desperately want to see on Saturdays will happen sooner. Don't wait for us to fail so that you can get angry and then write this check. Do it now, but it doesn't happen.
It might, though. I think at this point in our university's history with the athletic structure, you finally have a couple of people who are versed in those types of asks. We certainly didn't 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about Michael Alford, who has been in rooms with huge piles of chips, so to speak, poker chips in the middle of the table, and trying to get as many as he possibly can for the Cowboys or Oklahoma or wherever.
Alabama.
Alabama. He's not afraid of the commas, not only the periods, but the commas in those deals. Same thing with Peter Collins, the chairman of the board of trustees.
Yeah, right.
That dude has recruited money for a hedge fund. He's recruited money, capital investments from people who he had to convince that this is the next wave
Well, let's
for
go.
real estate or whatever.
Let's get on it, Peter.
You're in a position for getting money from people that don't want to give you the money, but that's where we need to be. And that was his pitch when we did the video a month ago, which was spend the money out of faith and belief rather than out of panic and disappointment.
If this were a bellying up, which we've got to get back to doing, and we were free to have this conversation for the next 4 hours and not take breaks or anything else, one of the things I would ask you, and we would get into the existential crisis and all of that, because we'd say to what end? I would ask you to what end? And now we don't want to go down that road because it's alarming and it's difficult, and it will leave you, much like a lot of philosophical questions, wanting more. You will have to ask another one followed by another one.
Well, you know what, sir? This is all a big nothing anyway. You can't take that money with you. Give a little bit to us. We'll give you a plaque.
Steer it. I like it. Yeah. You get a statue. You'll be dead. You won't know it exists, but it will.
For about 50 years, then it'll get knocked down.
Yeah. But, you have an ego and you want to see yourself on a statue. So, by all means, donate now so you can see it before you kick off.
Eat Arby's.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you. So does Tom. He never says it, but I really do appreciate it.
Oh, that's right. Never. Yeah, never, ever. One of the pillars himself.
Eric writes, hell with this show. Laugh out loud. It's Thirsty Thursday. Drinks on me, Jeff and Tom. Woo! That was Solving for the Future for my friends at ISF, and it was a lively one. ISF's people, they're the best. Process and technology framework. ISF has outlined recommendations to serve an immediate need and long-term vision for people like, well, here you go, DEO. They have a Connect system. They have always prioritized helping Floridians in their time of need, and with the help of ISF, this works infrastructure. They are able to, deal with a surge in usage, and organizations need to scale up quickly when that happens to meet a demand. It's difficult when everything is hardwired, so you have to do more things in the cloud and all of that. ISF makes it possible. They modernize system components. Older technology does not always talk well with newer technology, and don't I know that? I could call ISF when that happens, but I call Tom. And you know what Tom does? He says, turn your computer off and turn it back on. It's amazing. ISF's a little bit more complicated than that.
And yet that simple solution works. What do you think?
A lot of times.
9 out of 10?
And this will make old systems slower and harder to update when you're not having talking technology. ISF helps out with that, improves the data storage, and never overlooks security as well. So with ISF's recommendations, DEO is prepared to face the future. You can do the same. Go check them out, isf.com. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A person pretending to represent an energy company is one of the latest fraud attempts in the region. 911 received multiple calls from individuals claiming an individual pretending to be from Duke Energy stated their energy bill was due. The caller went on to say if the person did not pay, the resident's electricity would be turned off. Those are total scams, Sheriff A.J. Smith said in a video. If they call, hang up the phone, disconnect, do not engage with those people. It is a total scam. The Sheriff's Office advises not to engage with the caller. That includes not providing personal or financial information. A car crashed into the side of Lake Henrietta off of Spring Hill Road Wednesday morning. The crash happened around 6:30 a.m. According to Leon County Sheriff's Office. The car is partially submerged in the water, but a driver has not been located yet. This is a developing story. This is Rachel Anay with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by McLemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at McLemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Daytime highs approaching 81 this afternoon under partly cloudy skies, winds out of the west around 5 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 50 tonight, mainly clear skies and quiet. Bright sunshine expected tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 83. Dry with temperatures well above average Saturday and Sunday and highs in the low 80s. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 82.
Our friends at ISF work hard to help their clients solve the future. ISF is an integrated IT and management consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, serving clients all across the country. With the new year upon us, ISF reminds you to create a clear strategy, optimize your process, and modernize your technology to meet all your goals in 2022. For more information, visit ISF.com. That's ISF.com. ISF, solving the future.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
A woman only identified as Mrs. Wong posted on Chinese social media she had gotten locked down after a first blind date. She discovered that their date's community had gone into swift lockdown after visiting his house for a meal.
This absolutely has to become a romantic comedy. Lockdown Love. He was looking for Mrs. Right, but he found Mrs. Wong.
Lockdown. Starring Matthew McConaughey. All right.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
/Warchant. What? Jeff Cameron Show Warchant Invitational is what I was trying to say. It's a charity golf tournament. We're really excited about it. It benefits the Second Harvest of the Big Bend. Yeah. Engage, feed, educate. It's my friends at Second Harvest. The event is Friday, April the 15th, 8:30 a.m. Capital City Country Club hosting the event. Gracious hosts at that. I love it. And I'm really excited to participate and do this. We decided to get back in the game. We did it for 13 consecutive years, 14 consecutive years, something like that. Took some time off. I was moving about. The Jeff Cameron Show was moving about. And so now that we're settled in a great home with great people here at 93.3 and at Warchant, of course, we thought it's time. Let's get back on the saddle, if you will, or in the saddle, I think is the phrase there. And we want you to be part of it if you want to be part of it. Team of 4 is what we're taking right now. So, Tom, where do they need to go? There it is, eventcreate.com/e/JCS golf. Now, you might say, Jeff, was that E necessary? It was. It actually was. It is necessary. I asked the same question in the meeting. It's the kind of hard-hitting questions I ask when we have these meetings. Can we get rid of the E? That was my 2 cents as we talked about the golf tournament. They said no, and I stopped talking and left the room. Eventcreate.com/e/JCS golf. Go sign up your team of 4 immediately. If you do not, you will not get in.
There are 3 slots
Obviously.
left. 3 slots left for teams of 4. It has gone quickly. I'm sure that we're going to sell out. I mean, tomorrow's a week since the announcement, so that's really fast. We've got excellent events that are going to take place within that day. Free beer, seltzer products for all 21-plus players.
Tri-Eagle, baby, way to help out.
That's right. We're going to have a golf ball launcher cannon, which is pretty cool.
It's an AR-15 golf ball launcher cannon, and it kicks ass. And I've shot one of these things with Tom, and they're awesome. And so, you get it there on the tee box, and you're like, I'm going to shoot this golf ball at the hole. And then you do. And it makes the same loud sound that gun enthusiasts love. And you get a chance to shoot those golf balls. And it really is cool.
It builds up the, there's like a tension because you hear it when you first start playing. Like, oh my God, what is that?
They're killing people.
And then as you're getting to, I think we're probably going to use it on 18, the par 5 straight up the hill. But as you get to 15, 16, and it gets louder and louder, like, oh man, I don't know if I want to try this. Then you get to the tee box, you go, oh yes, I have to do
I
this.
definitely have to.
I have to do this. So
I
that's
will
going to
part
be
with my money to do this, is what you'll say.
and that's what we're going to ask you to do, all
Yeah.
for the second harvest.
I believe my buddy Eddie from Gordo's will have a team, of course, but also helping out with the sponsorship. Will be there on number 18 if that's indeed what we do.
And also at the turn,
I don't know if he'll be there.
when you complete the turn, it's going to be beat Corey in putting, beat Corey Clark in putting.
Should be an easy task, guys.
Actually, I think it might be a little difficult.
He's a decent putter.
He is, especially
doesn't do a damn thing else well on the golf course, but he can putt it a little bit.
And that's where we're going to put him, right there on the veranda at Capital City Country Club. And
All
it's
right,
going to be
Corey.
it's going to be the same putt. And so all he needs to do is once or twice, and he knows it, and he can put it within a 1 foot circle every time. So you better bring it.
Really?
You better make the putt. Yes.
I'm going to start taking putting lessons from Corey. That said, yesterday on number 9, Capital City Country Club, my man across the glass right here, T. Lizzie, eagled number 9 yesterday. Eagled number 9. I birdied it, just like Tom to one-up me. I birdied number 9, drained a right to left, center of the cup, perfect speed. I was very proud of myself for birdieing number 9. I said, oh, there's a birdie for that ass. Tom said, oh, hold on. And I thought he was attempting a birdie putt too. And I thought, really cool. Tom and I own this hole. We're about to walk away, birdie. But instead, when he sunk it, it occurred to me, and I asked him, and he confirmed, that's an eagle. Well done, sir.
And I got a hearty slap on the butt cheek.
I gave you, well, it was a left-handed slap on the butt cheek. I didn't give you the full right hand, but I was proud of you.
I think the guy in the fairway was like, oh, what's going on up there?
Yeah.
But yes, that was cool. I don't have that many of those in my life, and it was an 8-footer. So it's a good second shot too.
Yeah. It was a great shot and a great putt, and it was an eagle.
And you can have a lot of great shots
at the Jeff
of
Cameron
golf
Show,
variety
Warchant
and otherwise.
Invitational.
AR-15 golf ball launchers, shots of whatever you like. Yeah, it'll be a great day.
Hey, so something to note here. I guess what I'm saying, we're gonna have a blast, and you're gonna have a blast if you enter into this tournament. But coming up, I think next week, Tom, we'll have a list of a lot of people that are helping us with this, and I want to make sure I give proper thanks to everybody. But if you wanted to sponsor a hole, there's still time for people out there.
Absolutely.
There's still time to do that. So a couple people had inquired with me via email, and so I figured, well, I'll just address it on the show. Don't normally do that. Don't normally whore myself out like that, Tom, but I am here today.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's the case if there's a 501c3 involved. It's not quite that at all.
That is correct. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Whidden Glass has been taking care of business since 1945. When you call Whidden Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best. Like Whidden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Whidden Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. Whidden Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
Let me tell you what T-Spark stands for. It stands for strength, commitment, teamwork, and heart. We don't ever quit until we've got nothing left to give. Our team is unstoppable. Want a guaranteed win? Call T-Spark Enterprises for your next roofing or construction project. We conquer all peaks. T-SparkConstruction.com. License number CCC 1331204.
Hi, Taco.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Pull up a pillow. Haven't seen you in a couple of days. Hey, something's different about you.
That's right. My people took me to Tally Spay, the affordable spay and neuter clinic on West Tennessee.
Tally Spay? Isn't that the place where they...
Yeah, they're a low-cost, high-volume spay-neuter clinic.
So you're saying you've had some work done?
I did. You'd think I'd be depressed, but truth is, I don't even miss them. All I know is my family is much happier now that I've been altered. My people even brought Mr. Jingles to Tally Spay.
Tally Spay, a low-cost, high-volume spay-neuter clinic open to the public, serving Tallahassee and the surrounding areas.
How you feeling, Mr. Jingles? Leave me alone! Ugh, you're right. He is a lot nicer.
Go to tallyspay.com. That's tallyspay.com.
Mom, Can I have some ice cream?
I've got a better idea. Who wants to help me make something fun and healthy instead?
Eating smarter is easy and delicious. Interested in receiving healthy recipes and a whole lot more in your email? Then register at healthiestweightfl.com and learn more about all the small steps that you can take on the way to living healthy. This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Good golf tournament on, beautiful weather, and conference basketball tournaments scream. Gamble away all your money. I made myself laugh.
And what's interesting is I was telling Matthew this whole day, this is the first time since we've gone to a 2-hour format where I feel like this is a longer show.
Oh, not me. I thought it's flown by. We had such engaging conversation about the state of the program and Mike Norvell's job.
It's not for a lack of it, the engaging conversations. I think this might be the first day. I usually have about 5 of them a calendar year where I need a cup of coffee. I need some coffee today.
Stay up a little late?
No, I don't know what's wrong. It might be the pollen.
Your cohort in there, Matthew, who's the director of the program, is a sneezing Jesse these days. So maybe the pollen is high. A lot of sneezing. It's unacceptable. I really am. I hold grudges about sneezes. My dad gets mad at me.
You do.
I do. I'm the worst. I judge people who sneeze when it happens instantaneously. And if I love them, like I love Matthew, then I have to quickly tell my brain, no, don't do that. He's a good person. It's not his fault he was sneezing. He needs to get it together.
Yeah. On the second one, you're like, you getting sick in there?
Yeah. No,
what's going on? You got something? You got a cold?
I'll straight up say, get it together.
You getting the flu?
My wife gets mad. She'll sneeze. Like we're driving down the road. She'll sneeze in the car. I'm like, get it together over there already. She's like, what? I'm like, well, Jesus, man, we're in a car. There's nowhere for me to go. Roll down your window. Have some respect. Oh, man. No, I do. And if you're like in Publix or something, that's a free mention number 10,000 for Publix. But when you're in Publix or
one day,
22
squared, give us a call.
Yeah, let's go. But if you're in Publix and you're like going down the fruit aisle or whatever, you're like, okay, got to get a little salad here, some carrots, maybe some broccoli. Gonna get me some strawberries, and then a woman sneezes, or a man.
Oh, the produce?
Yeah,
no.
The produce. Yeah, you
no,
see
no,
that?
no, no,
I'm
no,
like,
no.
what are we doing over here?
You need to sprint out of the produce.
Get the hell up out of here with that nonsense.
Go over at least by where the OJs are.
Sneeze on some cereal boxes. Nobody cares.
Oh no,
and they're sealed.
That's a big no-no. Produce sneezes?
Yeah,
no, sir.
Not allowed. No produce coughs or sneezes. You feel that coming on, you get over there by the toothpaste.
Worst case, go into the scale.
The body wash.
Just put your nose in the scale and just sneeze right into it.
North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com. Went 1-1 yesterday on the show. Took Notre Dame, laid the 2. It worked out perfect. But then to offset that loss, and just in case, I took Miami and gave the 4 to Boston College. That turned out to be a winner. So we were neutral yesterday, Tommy.
We were 2-1. I hurriedly picked the Rangers over the Blues, and that was a good pick.
That was a good pick.
Yeah.
I like Valparaiso.
Oh.
-5.5 against Evansville. Get you some, Evansville.
Bryce Drew.
Yeah, get you some. And I also like Illinois State -1.5 against Indiana State at the time that I got it. It's conference tournament time, baby. Let's
Whoa.
go.
Well, okay. So you jumped on that Illinois State, Indiana State
I
number.
did. 1.5. I like them to win straight up.
Illinois State, the Cardinals? I feel like they might be.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember.
So in hockey tonight, Washington, have you seen, as just careening into the side of a mountain, the Capitals are. This has been long thought to be a fixed field of 8 teams in the Eastern Conference playoff picture for 2 months. And that's relatively early in hockey season to say it's over. You're not making the playoffs. Washington is in danger of getting caught by Columbus. And I don't see any help on the way. Carolina is the Hurricanes are only a -125 to straight up win proposition. I will take that proposition. Take the Hurricanes tonight to beat the Washington Capitals.
You got any thoughts on Man City and Man U?
No, is that today?
Yeah.
I was almost a Man City fan. That's the best I can offer.
Yeah. Kansas giving 10.5 to TCU's a thought. Flames on the puck line against the Canadians.
Flames on the puck line against the Canadians. What's the
-1.5?
Well, yeah. No, it's the puck line. That's standard. But sometimes that could be an expensive proposition.
-155.
That's cheap.
That's why I did it.
That is cheap. I like it.
See you? You see me working there? Maybe I'm going to look at Cal and Arizona State over 126. Maybe.
Okay.
Might do it.
Now, what would the number be for Florida State and NC State that would induce action for you for the Noles?
I'm just going to pick them on the money line because I bet you, well, no, we'll be favored. You're right.
Yeah, it might be a point or two.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if the news on
the money line.
I'll bet, because those don't get released till tomorrow night.
Yeah, you won't know until
if the news on Matthew Cleveland is he's coming back, I could see how that moves the line 1 or 2 points.
Will you wouldn't be able to get anything.
That's
right
the
now,
crazy thing about last night. I mean, he's out, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, how
really?
are we gonna win? Right.
You get Polite back, and then Matthew Cleveland, who's really coming into his own, now he's not available, and you still win that ball game? That's crazy.
They've had a bunch of crazy wins, and what it did for us is, again, ensure that those kids are playing really hard for Coach Ham and his staff still, and we had reason to wonder because of the Boston College game in particular, so that's
and the
good.
North Carolina game.
Right. So that's good to know. Young players getting lots of minutes. I mean, and having big moments, having success. I mean, again, Cameron Fletcher having some success, John Butler having some success is a big deal. That's for the future, these young guys. We got asked earlier in the show if Mills will come back for the tournament or does he play this weekend? And, I'm so conflicted. The vast majority of our fan base thinks it's pivotal that he come back. And it's because they saw him basically win the Miami game by himself down there and have moments where he lights it up here and scores 28 or whatever it might be, right? He is capable of that. He's also capable of going 3 for 17 and not sharing the basketball and
either way it kills
contact.
Either way it kills the flow of the offense, even if he is scoring.
Right. And I just, I don't know him personally. And so it's hard for me to make this assessment, but I will tell you from a distance, I would be inclined if he were not on our team, but another team's on. And you and I were just talking in the Vista.
Yeah. Louisville basketball.
Right. I would turn to you and say, that kid might be a little soft. Seems like he may be a little soft, doesn't like contact. Don't know if it's true or not, just looks that way from here. That'd be the kind of thing I'd say to you, perhaps, if we were watching a kid that was on another team that had a similar style game.
With a sharper image catalog.
That is how well we know each other. I just kind of used the shaping of the written word, the dialogue there, and you knew that's where I was going.
But that's the thing. You've got to stare out as you.
Yeah, you got to stare off in the distance. It's the kind of thing that,
the
government might do.
And such. Heartache, Jeff. That's what he finds in the paint.
That's right.
Heartache.
That's right.
He doesn't like contact. That's the kind of thing that they could do to you.
That happened the other night. I was flipping around and it was on again. They got me again.
It's a good movie.
I can't stop watching it every time I flip through there. I'm like, and his part was up. I almost took the picture, but it was late. I was going to send it to you. Be like, yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about the do not disturb notifications now.
Yeah.
So you can just send that in the next, I'll see you in the morning because I've got that auto at 10 p.m. Sometimes I put it on earlier, but
shut it down.
10 p.m.
It shows up on my messages that you are shutting it down.
Yeah, notifications are off.
Yeah.
It's like away messages back in the day for people my age, AOL Instant Messenger. Used to
So
have
I
the
should
await
do that
message.
on my phone. When I'm done
Yeah,
here, I'm
yeah.
going to be like, here you go, Tommy. Set this up on my phone because I'll screw it up. And I
You
won't
just
get,
set up your bedtime,
I'll
whatever
never
you want
get
it to
any
be.
messages the rest of my life. Why doesn't anybody message me anymore? You turned off all messages, dumbass. Good work out of you. Good work, Director Matthew. Thanks to all of you as always. Be well. We'll talk to you tomorrow on a Libations Friday. Woohoo!